Hi, it's Sylvester, here to make yet another random questions video. I'm sorry, I make so many videos. I'm just in a video making mood, and I literally just filmed and posted one, but here's another one, I know you just can't get enough of me, so I'm giving you that sweet, sweet content. You're welcome. Anyway, I'm getting these questions from 17.com. First question is, have you ever shared a secret you weren't supposed to tell? I, throughout my life, have told my mom pretty much everything. And so if I know something about a friend, or if somebody tells me something in secret, there's a pretty good chance that I've told my mom, because I tell my mom basically everything. So if you ever tell me a secret, just know I'm not going to go around running my mouth, except I probably will tell my mom. So if you don't want my mom to know, don't tell me. Unless you explicitly tell me, like, please don't tell anyone this, then, I'll respect that. But for the most part, people tell me stuff. I'm going to tell my mom. Next question. Are you afraid of the dark? No. Next question. Have you ever peed in a pool? Probably yes, but nothing memorable. I do one time. This is really gross, okay, and I'm pretty ashamed of this. It's pretty nasty. Hold on to your butts. My aunt has a pool at her house, and so we'd always go over to visit my aunt, and I'd spend most of the time in the pool because I love water, I love pools, I love swimming, always have. And so I was in the pool one time, and I had a cold. And so my nose was really, really runny, and so I'd like go under the water and just go like, and just like blow out the snot into the pool because I didn't think that it would matter because I was gross and I was a child, and I don't know why I did this. It's so nasty. Anyways, and then my cousins were swimming in the pool, and my one cousin points to some snot floating on the top of the pool, and they're like, what is that? Is that some skin? Did somebody shed some skin? Because, like, I guess the way it looked in the water, it looked like dead skin. And so they're like, ew, somebody's shedding in the pool. And I obviously didn't tell them that it was my snot. I just let them believe that it was somebody's skin. So if my cousins are watching, you were swimming with my mucus at that time, and I'm very sorry. I was a kid, and I was stupid, and I didn't think it would matter. I thought it would just get sucked up into the filters, and it wouldn't, or it would dissolve or something. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. That's so embarrassing. Next question. What do you hope your parents never find out? My parents, if they watch my videos, then they know everything about me. There's nothing that they can find out about me that would shock them at this point. Next question. What is the most embarrassing thing you've posted on social media? I posted some pretty embarrassing videos in my day. What's the video I'm most embarrassed of posting? Back in the day, when I first started doing YouTube videos, I really liked watching twerk videos on YouTube. It was the era of twerking. Everyone was twerking. It was, Nicki Minaj's Anaconda had just come out. It was the Miley Cyrus incident had happened. Twerking was in the public. It was in the what am I looking at? It was in the zeitgeist. It was something I enjoyed watching, and I considered myself to be kind of good at twerking, and so I wanted to show off my skills, but I was too embarrassed to just post twerking videos on my YouTube channel because my coworkers would watch my channel, and then they would, probably look down on me or laugh at me for shaking my butt on YouTube. And so I would make twerking videos, but I would make them unlisted and hard to find. I would make a video being like, if you want to see me twerk, click on this link. And I thought that would kind of, I don't know, I'm embarrassed about how embarrassed I was. I should have just been myself and just twerked on the internet because who gives a crap? If you judge me for that, then I judge you for judging me, you know? So, I should have just let my freak flag fly and just been my damn self and just twerked, because I like twerking, and I do believe I was rather good at it. And so, you know, I should have done it. But instead, I was so embarrassed and so ashamed that I would make these secret twerk videos that were only for people who really wanted to see them. You'd have to click a link, and, like, I don't know. They weren't that difficult to find, honestly. Or I'd post a twerk video and then immediately delete it because I'd get, like, really embarrassed. And I still do that to this day. I'll post videos and then I'll get embarrassed in hindsight and be like, oh no, I shouldn't have posted that, and I'll take it down. But at this point in my life, I want to just be proudly who I am, and I don't want to hide who I am anymore, and I just want to be myself. And YouTube is one of the only places in the world where, you know, other than being with my mom, YouTube is the only place where I feel like I can really just be who I am. And who I am is somebody who likes twerking, somebody who likes talking about sex and inappropriate things, somebody who likes being weird and kind of off-putting. And this is just who I am. And I'm sorry if you don't like it, but you can go watch somebody else's videos if you don't like it. You don't have to engage with it, you know? I'm not forcing myself onto anyone. I'm not forcing my likes or interests onto anyone. I'm just showing the internet that this is who I am, and I shouldn't be ashamed of it. Next question. Have you ever farted and blamed someone else? No, but back in high school, I used to eat a lot of beans. Like, I was obsessed with beans. I would eat so many beans, and then I would get really bad farts because of it. And I remember very distinctly one day in gym class, I farted, and it was so bad. The smell was just overpowering and just really, really bad. And all of the girls in my gym class were just like, oh my god, who did that? That's like, oh my god, what the fuck? And like, they were all like freaking out and just like blaming each other, and nobody blamed me. I just kind of sat there quietly in the corner looking very guilty, being like, it definitely wasn't me. Don't look my way. Yikes. And then that happened one time when I was working at McDonald's, too. I had eaten a lot of beans the day before, and then I farted a lot at work, and nobody said anything. Nobody reacted, but I could always tell that like, I would fart, and then I'd be like, oh no. and I could just, I'm sorry to anyone who had to work with me that day. That was a bad day. I shouldn't have eaten so many beans. And it was very embarrassing, because even if people didn't know it was me, they probably knew it was me just from the guilty look on my face. So, yeah, sorry. I try not to eat as many beans anymore, because, boy, it gives me flatulence. Next question. Do you ever drool in your sleep? Sometimes. Next question. If you run out of toilet paper, would you wipe with the empty roll? If I had no other options, then sure, I guess. Why not? Next question. What is your biggest regret? My biggest regret is dropping out of university. It's not really my fault that I dropped out of university. I got kidnapped in 2013 in my first year of university, and I developed really severe PTSD, and that made it very difficult for me to resume my life and go back to school. I never ended up going back to school because I was just so messed up from what had happened to me. And I regret that, because if I had finished my education, I probably wouldn't be in poverty, 31-year-old in poverty on disability. I mean, maybe I would still be on disability because PTSD is pretty disabling, but I guess my biggest regret is going to the lounge that I went to the day that I got kidnapped. If I could go back in time, I'd tell myself not to go there that day and to just stay home. And then I wouldn't have gotten kidnapped, and then I would have stayed in school, and I probably would have a job and be successful and not be in poverty. But it is what it is, you know? You can't change the past. Next question. Who do you have a crush on? I've answered this before. Brad Pitt, obviously. And even though I'm ashamed of it, Jake Paul. Again, I've said it before. Jake Paul is highly problematic. He's a Trump supporter. Him and I would not get along in real life. But God, he's just so hot. Physically, he's just so attractive, and I can't help it. He's just so freaking hot. It makes me angry. I don't know if I want to be him or if I want to be with him. Maybe both. Ugh. Like, I don't want to be him. I don't want to be a Trump supporter, but, like, I want to look like him. If I could just switch bodies with a person, I wouldn't want his life, because it seems like he has a troubled life. It seems like he's always had a bit of a troubled life, but I would like to just swap bodies with Jake Paul. That would be pretty cool. Anyways, next question. Who was your first crush? I've answered that question before. What's the worst date you've ever been on? I haven't been on that many dates, really. I think I've only ever been on one date, which is kind of embarrassing. And it was an okay date. I realized by the end of the date that I didn't have a lot of chemistry with the person that I was on a date with, and that I didn't like her the way that she liked me. And so I texted her and I told her, like, I'm sorry, but I don't think this is going to work out. And she got really upset, and I felt like a real asshole, but it's better than stringing her along or just ghosting her. At least I told her that I wasn't interested in her, but I still felt really bad about that. It sucks to have to reject people, honestly. Next question. What's the best date you've ever been on? The best date you've ever been on? Again, only ever been on one date, so I guess it's both the best and worst date that I've ever been on, because it's the only date that I can remember ever being on. Next question. What was your most embarrassing moment? I think I've told this story before, but maybe not. I forget what I've filmed and what I haven't, but long story short, there was this field trip that we went on in elementary school, and I did not go pee before I got on the bus, and halfway through the bus ride to our destination, I really had to pee, and I started crying because I was so uncomfortable, and I had to pee so bad, and everybody laughed at me, including the adults on the bus, the chaperones, and the teachers. They all laughed at me. They all just laughed at me, and it was so embarrassing. Next question. What was your last lie? I don't know. I don't remember. This wasn't really a lie. It was a lie by omission. I told my mom that I'm joining the Rotary Club. There's the Rotary Club, and then there's a subsection of the Rotary Club called the Rotaract Club. And I signed up for it, and I got accepted. I'm not like a full member yet. I have to pay a membership fee of $8, and I also have to attend 3 meetings in 4 months. But I'm on my way to being part of the Rotaract Club, and I told my mom that I just did it because I just felt like joining the Rotary Club. But the real reason I did it is because I've always been obsessed with the Freemasons. I know the Freemasons founded the Rotary Club, and so part of me wants to join this group to see just what they're doing, just what are they up to, what, I know they're not the Freemasons, but it's Freemason adjacent, and if I could join the Freemasons, I would, but I think it's invite only, and so, I just want to see what they're doing. I just want to know, right? I just want to be part of this secret club and know what they're doing, so it can put my mind at ease, and I can convince myself that the Freemasons are not bad people doing bad things in the world, because even though I am not psychotic anymore, I am taking medication, I spent so many years of my life believing that the Freemasons were doing evil things, and I just kind of want to know their secrets. And the closest I could get to the Masonry is the Rotary Club. So I'm joining the Rotary Club, or the Rotaract Club. So that's pretty cool. Maybe I'm not allowed to talk about it, but I think I'm allowed to talk about it. Anyways, next question. Have you ever been ghosted? Yeah, I've tried dating sites before, and I would frequently get ghosted by people. I'd start a conversation with them and they just never respond, and I guess that's what ghosting is. I didn't have to explain that, but anyways. Have you ever ghosted someone? Not that I can remember, but honestly, probably. If there's somebody who I just decided I didn't like anymore, I probably would just stop talking to them. I tried to ghost this one I had. He was my best friend for many years, And but then he turned into kind of an asshole. He would constantly trigger me. He would do things that he knew would upset me, and then I'd get angry with him, and then he'd be like, wow, you're so angry, you have such anger issues. But like, he was the one who was purposefully pushing me to anger, and so he would do things like that, and he would like stand up for rapists and things, and like he just really like one time he stood up for pedophiles. He's like, it's not their fault, it's a sickness or something like that. And like, I don't know, he would say stuff like that he knew would bother me. And then when I would get upset, he'd shame me for it. And so I just tried to stop talking to him. I just kind of cut him out of my life silently. I didn't tell him I was cutting him out of my life. I just stopped texting him. And then on Christmas Day one year, he sent me this long ass email, like a 5-page email detailing how I was a bad friend. And so I think he was just butthurt that I was ghosting him. But you know, he kind of did it to himself. Next question. Have you ever lost a friend? Yes, I've lost many friends, and I'm not going to talk about it. Next question. What is your most embarrassing habit? Making YouTube videos. Next question. If you could date anyone in the world, who would it be? I want to say Brad Pitt, but he's probably not as cool as I think he is. I don't know. He's from a different generation. He's from a different time. I don't know. I don't know if he would accept me as I am, but I don't know. I'll just say Brad Pitt because I don't really have any other answer to that question. How many people have you kissed? Legit, probably like 3. I don't know. I haven't kept track, but like I haven't kissed that many people, and I've talked about that in a previous video, so I'm not going to go into too much detail there. But haven't kissed that many people. Next, have you ever been in love? Not really. I've been in love with. I've answered this in previous videos actually. I was in love with. I fall in love with characters from TV shows, specifically Sam Winchester. So I was in love with fictional people, and I don't really know if that counts as being in love, but that's the closest I've ever come. Next question. Do you believe in soulmates? I've answered that question, or a variation of that question before. What is your happiest memory? My happiest memory is... probably something with my mom. Maybe seeing my mom again after like 5 years of not seeing her. That's one of my happiest memories, even though I wasn't that happy that day when we first hung out, but that's just because I was going through a period of extreme depression, and so I was just generally not happy at all, ever. But in theory, I was really happy to see her, but I didn't act like I was that happy because I was severely depressed. Next question. Have you ever been broken up with? No, I've never dated anyone. Next question. Have you ever broken up with someone? No, I've never dated anyone. Next question. When was the last time you cried? I cried the day before yesterday because I was thinking about how I ruined my chances of becoming a famous YouTuber back in 2019. I came so close. I was so close I could taste it. I almost lived my dreams. I almost became a YouTuber, which is, if you don't know, my biggest dream is becoming a YouTuber, but I came so close, and then I had a mental breakdown and ruined it, and I have no one to blame but my own brain and myself for not trying hard enough to get on medication. So next question. What is the last text you sent? The last text I sent was to my mom, and you don't need to know the details of my conversations with my mom. Next question. What are you most insecure about? How girly I am, because I'm a trans man, and I recognize my girliness, and it makes me feel dysphoria. So maybe that's not insecurity, maybe it's just dysphoria, but you know, I am pretty girly for a man, and I have to come to terms with that. That's just how I am. Next question. What about yourself are you the most proud of? My strength. You may not be able to recognize it, but I am... It takes a lot of guts. It takes a lot of courage to do what I do, making these videos on the internet. I know that sounds stupid, but I am proud of how courageous I am to put myself out there and be vulnerable and just be myself. And that's my greatest strength, is my ability to be myself in a world that tells me I should be something else. Next question. Have you ever been heartbroken? Yes. I've lost friends in the past, and I was heartbroken about that. I've never, again, never been in a relationship. I was heartbroken in 2019 because I thought my mom had betrayed me. I thought she was part of this big conspiracy and she was doing all this stuff to hurt me. She wasn't. She was completely innocent, but I had convinced myself, my psychotic brain had convinced me that my mom betrayed me, and I was very, very heartbroken. Next question. What would you get a tattoo of if you could get one right now? I don't really want any more tattoos. Both of the tattoos I have, I kind of regret a little bit. I don't hate them. They're okay tattoos, and I'm trying to own them. I'm trying to, not be ashamed of them, because I was a different person when I got those tattoos, and they don't suit me as I am now, but I understand why I got them, and I don't hate myself for getting them, but I don't trust myself to get any more tattoos. Next question. What is one thing you wish you could change about yourself? I think I've answered this question before. I'd like to have better social skills. I'd like to be less socially anxious around other people, and to be able to, I don't hate being an introvert, but it would be fun to be extroverted, a little bit more extroverted, and to be able to just strike up conversations with people and talk to people and just, I don't know, have better social skills. Next question. When was the last time you were very angry? Again, probably 2 days ago. I was very angry thinking about how I ruined my own career, and there's nothing I can do to change that. Next question. What is your love language? Oh, I'm at 21 minutes. I should end this video. I'm going to do 2 more questions. What is your love language? Food is my love language. If you bring me food, I will love you. That's not a guarantee, but your chances of me loving you are a lot better if you give me food. What are my other love languages? I just like compliments and spending time with me and just not judging me. I don't know if those are love languages, but those are things that make me feel good. Next question. Has there ever been a rumor spread about you? I answered that question in the last video, or something similar to that question. So I'm going to do one more question. That question doesn't count. One more question. Have you ever had a crush on a friend's significant other? Yes, when I was in university, I had this friend, her name was Tiffany, and I had the biggest crush on her, but she was dating this guy whose name I don't remember, and he was also incredibly hot, and so I had a crush on both of them, and I was jealous of both of them. I was jealous of him for dating her because I wanted to date her, and I was jealous of her for dating him because I wanted to date him, and so I was jealous of both of them, and I had a crush on both of them. And it was just a messy situation because neither of them wanted me, I don't think. Plus, they were both taken. Anyway, that's all. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.